afternoon, girls. My name is Catherine, and I'm going to be your examiner today. Now, would you like to tell me a few things about yourselves? Let's start with you.
Hello, my name is Maria. I'm 25 years old.
Right, okay.
I come from Vergina. I'm an archaeologist, and I have been working in the archaeological side of Vergina for the last 2 years.
Oh, that sounds very interesting.
Yes, very interesting. I'm single.
Okay, well, you're still very young.
Yes.
So, there's plenty of time for you to find the right person to be with.
Yes. And this period, I prepare myself in order to be accepted in the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki.
What do you mean, to be accepted in what?
In museum studies for my master.
Oh, your master's degree.
Yes.
Okay. Is it difficult for you to, to be admitted to this, to do this master's
Not
degree?
very difficult, but I have to study very hard.
Very hard. Okay.
So this is difficult because it's summer.
Oh, yes.
So
I'm sure it is. So you're thinking of doing something else?
Yes.
Okay. And so how about, besides reading, what do you like doing when you have some free time?
When I have free time, I like jogging, walking, or cycling.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so you're trying to be fit.
Yes.
So well, it shows. Okay, thank you very much for this, Maria. Now let's talk about you.
My name is Calliope. My full name is Calliope. My friends call me Poppy.
Okay, that's easier for me to say.
Yes, Calliope is ancient Greek and means beautiful looks.
Oh, good.
I'm a lawyer. I have been working as a lawyer here in Hungary for the past 8 years. I'm a lawyer of the first instance court.
That's a rather difficult job, especially for a woman, isn't it?
Yes, but it's interesting and I always liked it.
Well, that's the good thing.
Yes. And the reason that I'm here is because I really need this certificate in order to work abroad. I have already made an application to Brussels.
Oh, really?
And
do you
to
want to
Slovenia, to Ljubljana, to work there as an administrative employee or a human resources assistant.
Oh, that sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you
this financial crisis has... I have thoughts of leaving my country.
Okay, so is it difficult for you to stay here, you mean?
Yes, it is difficult these days.
Okay, well...
So I'm looking forward for an answer. I have already made my application.
Let's hope that things will become better for you and stay here.
I don't know. It depends.
Okay, well, it would be a great experience for you to work abroad, at least for a few years.
I like Slovenia. I prefer that job, but let's see.
Okay, you've never been there before?
No, but I have seen photos through the net.
Well, yes, as far as I know, it's
I like Ljubljana. I really like small cities. I prefer Ljubljana than London.
Oh, well, yes. I mean, it's very subjective, so it's too personal.
Yes.
The choice, I mean.
Job opportunities.
Okay.
Let's see.
We'll see. Let's wish you good luck with everything that you do. Okay. Well, girls, I can see that you brought your logbooks. Let's have a look at that. Okay. Thank you very much, Maria. Well, yes, since you're an archaeologist, I'm sure that you have a lot of things to say about that. Okay. Right, okay. Well, let's take a look at yours, Poppy. That's your setup. Okay. Oh, face lock. Okay. It is in, let's say, in the internet.
Yes.
Right, well, we'll start with Maria first, who's going to present her investigation, but while we're doing this, feel free to ask each other questions and make comments, okay?
Okay.
So tell us about the history of archaeology.
Okay. First of all, I would like to say that I chose this subject, this topic because the archaeology is very familiar to me. So I would like to make you aware about this kind of science and its history.
Well, that's good. I've always been interested in that.
Okay, the modern archaeology has its origins in Europe in the mid-19th century, where it was developed after the science of geology. This science, the geology, had shown that the Earth was millions of years old, than it was commonly believed by the public. After that, Charles Darwin published The Origin of Species. He outlined his theory of evolution and led the scientists to believe that the Earth, that the humanity, was millions of years old, by providing a time limit within which the science could be investigated.
So he was some kind of an archaeologist of the times, you mean?
Yes.
Yes. Well, yes, that's a different point of view I've never thought about.
Yes.
Okay.
After that, the Danish historian Christian Stephens published a guideline to Scandinavian antiquity, and he proposed the idea that the European prehistoric could be divided up into 3 periods: the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, and the Iron Age. This is an age system based on the materials which were used by the ancient people. And it is important because until now scientists utilized this kind of division in their research. As a result, many archaeologists began to investigate various areas around the world, and there is a big number of well-known archaeologists who have been dominated in this sector. For example, Henrik Schliemann is very famous.
Yes, he was the one that made the excavations in Troy.
Yes. And also Arthur Evans, also very famous about his excavations at Crete and his investigation of the ancient Aegean civilization. And very famous is Manolis Andronikos about his excavations in Macedonia, and especially for his discovery of the ancient tomb of the King Philip II. However, many of those old archaeologists utilized many wrong techniques.
What do you mean by that?
For example, Henrik Schliemann wasn't an archaeologist. He was keen on history. He afforded the money, but he wasn't an archaeologist. So he made a lot of mistakes in the field.
Okay, so not everything that he did was accurate.
Yes.
And
he destroyed many of the faces of the Troy.
Okay, well, it was, let's say, natural for him to do that, since he didn't know, he wasn't aware of what he was doing.
He didn't have the knowledge.
Yes. Okay. So how about, let's say, archaeology nowadays, especially in Greece?
Yes, the archaeology continues in Greece, and there are many well-known archaeologists, and there are many techniques. For example, the maritime archaeology, not techniques, fields. Yes. For example, the maritime archaeology, the rescue archaeology, the urban archaeology is well known, especially in Europe.
So there are specialized archaeologists for each, let's say, field? Or,
yes.
For example, can you do all of these?
No. You must choose.
You must choose.
There are many.
Okay, so what's your specialty? Do you have any?
Yes, the rescue archaeology is very familiar to me. Because in my area, when someone wants to build something, the archaeologists should first investigate the area, and only if this area is poor without archaeological findings, only then we give the permission to build.
Yes, for construction. So
Yes.
this is what you do.
Yes.
I'm sure that you have a lot of jobs, especially here in Greece, huh?
Yes.
Okay. So how about you, Bobby? Have you ever been interested in archaeology and things like that?
Yes, but not that much. I prefer other sciences.
Oh, well, I'm sure you do.
Astronomy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's equally interesting, let's say. But how about this? What would you like to ask Maria about her investigation?
Well, you have already said that there are many fields.
Yeah.
But what I'd like to ask if, with this financial crisis, do you earn money from this job? Is it difficult to work?
That's a very interesting
Yes,
question.
nowadays it's very difficult to work in this field because the money are.
Are you paid from the government?
Yes, I paid from the government, and there is a big financial problem. So this job is very difficult.
Well, I'm sure it is, but it's not the only one. I'm sure
know.
everybody's
We have the
facing
same
problems. Yes, exactly that. But this is a bit different, let's say, from other fields. So let's hope that since it's very important for Greece, things won't stop here, and keep on trying and doing excavations. Okay, well that was very interesting. Thank you very much for your presentation, Maria. And now, Poppy, let's turn to you and talk about something completely different.
Yes.
Okay, Facebook then.
Facebook is a social networking website launched in February 2004 in the US, operated and privately owned by Facebook Incorporated. Users can add friends, play games, exchange messages, chat, and update their profiles to notify their friends about themselves. Facebook was initially this website's name stems from the global names of books given to students by the university administrations in order to, with the intention of helping students to get to know each other better. And today, anyone over the age of 13 can become a Facebook user. Facebook was.
So why is there a limit, an age limit?
Well, in my opinion, there are many dangers through the use of the internet, and little children are not mature enough to deal with these problems. And
Why is that? What kind
well,
of
there are
problems
always spammers.
may arise?
Yeah, there are always spammers and other users who can manipulate our personal data and use them for illegal purposes.
Okay, yes.
So we must protect children, especially, in my opinion.
Well, no, I quite agree with you, but anyway, I was just, asking. So what else would you like to say?
Facebook was founded by Mark Zuckerberg and his college roommate, and fellow computer science students Chris Hughes, Eduardo Saverin, and Dustin Moskovitz. Initially, it was limited only for the students of Harvard University.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, it was a limited project, but later on it expanded to other universities.
So was it an experiment, in a way?
Kinda. And later on it expanded to other universities in the Boston area, and furthermore to other colleges, high schools, and finally to anyone over the age of 13. The original project Facebook was borrowed from a product produced by Mark Zuckerberg's prep school, which for decades published and distributed a printing manual, which unofficially called the Facebook, and had all the names of students and faculty. Today, this website counts more than 400 million active users
It's a
worldwide.
huge number.
Yes, but Facebook has met with some controversy.
Ah.
It has been banned in several countries.
Why is that?
Well, mostly for religious purposes, such as Syria, Iran, Pakistan, where Muslims.
Do these, let's say, countries believe that it's some kind of a danger to their people?
Probably, I don't know.
Well,
Maybe.
obviously
They
nobody
wear
knows.
burqa.
Yeah,
No.
yes. There are
That's
certain
strange
restrictions.
too.
Yes.
And privacy has also been an issue about Facebook.
Yeah.
And there have been, Facebook has met with some controversy also over a game in which you can sell your friends and fans.
Really?
Yes.
That's very shocking.
Yes, you can sell your friends for millions of dollars. I have never played that, but
Wow. Well, now there is a matter of ethics then,
yes,
in a way.
yes, probably.
Is there something that can be done about that?
Facebook has
But having some restrictions in what happens through
Yes,
Facebook.
there are restrictions, but they are not very. How can I say it? There are not limits over the internet in general. The persons don't have the ability to control their personal data and what they're doing, especially. There's not a legal system.
Yes, in most countries at least.
Or that legal system is not enough.
Probably. Well, they have to reconsider the whole thing because the thing with the internet and the Facebook is expanding so fast that, they have to keep up, let's say, with it. Anyway, why do you think that Facebook has become so popular, especially with teenagers?
Because it's a way of communication nowadays. People don't have enough free time to go out and have drinks as we did it before, many years ago. Now it's a way to find information about someone you care.
Well,
It's
that's
an
the
easy
good
way.
thing. That's the positive.
Yes.
Let's say the optimistic part.
But you can also find friends from college or from school. I have found friends, and that's interesting.
Okay.
They live in different places, or maybe different countries, and you have the ability to communicate with them.
Well,
and
that's the good thing.
That's the good thing and the most interesting.
So would you say that you're a big fan of Facebook?
Well, yes, I play games most of
Okay.
the time, so I use it for that purpose. Sometimes
Right.
I communicate and chat, but that's limited.
Okay. Well, how about you, Maria? Are you interested in technology and the internet?
No, and
Oh, no.
I
Why
don't
not?
have my personal account in Facebook.
Oh, you don't have one?
Yes.
Well, maybe you should reconsider.
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay. What would you like to say or ask Morty about her investigation then?
I would like to ask you, has anything strange ever happened to you?
Well, no, not really, but sometimes totally strangers are sending friend requests to me and they want to become my friends, but I don't really know them. I have never met them in my life and I'm careful about that.
Well, you should be.
And I reject.
Okay, that's a good thing. You should be able to protect yourself in a way
Yes,
that you
they
should
can
handle.
see my pictures
Yes.
and information about me, but I don't like it.
Okay, well, that was very interesting. Maybe you should, let's say, talk to other people about that and make them more aware of the dangers of the Facebook. Huh? Okay, well, thank you very much for your presentation, Poppy. And now, Maria, we'll turn back to you and talk about your new story.
Yes.
Can you tell us
My
what's about
investigation.
your new story?
Yes. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. My new story is about the Egyptian famous tomb of Tutankhamun, which is under a 5-year renovation project by Getty. Scientists.
So still, your new story has to do with archaeology.
Yes.
Okay.
scientists tried to clean and restore the wall paintings in the underground chambers of the Boy King, as they have observed some small brown spots on the wall paintings.
And what exactly are these spots?
I don't know. Maybe.
Are they dangerous, I mean?
Yes, they are dangerous because they destroy the wall paintings. So scientists try to protect them from deterioration. This small four-roomed tomb was discovered in 1922 by the British archaeologist Howard Carter. However, the big number of tourists who daily visit it bring heat and humidity, which destroy the more than 3,000 years old tomb and its wall paintings as well.
These are, let's say, number one enemies for antiquities, aren't they?
Yes. So scientists try to protect and save them. This project started in 2005 when scientists removed the mummy of Tutankhamun and placed it into a scanner in order to examine the reasons of his death. He discovered that the young boy was violently murdered.
Really?
Yes. However, this project stopped. I don't know. Maybe for financial reasons.
Where did this particular, let's say, project take place? In Egypt?
Yes. This period, the project will involve a 2-year research period in order to examine the reasons of deterioration, and other 3 years from the implementation. The Getty Institute is responsible for the whole renovation and restoration, and is famous about project like this in ancient monuments around the world.
Okay, so what do you think that will happen with the project? Because you said that it stopped in a way, or
it stopped in 2005.
In 2005, and now it's still continuing.
Yes.
Okay.
And I suppose that scientists will remove all these small brown spots and give the opportunity to people the chance to admire this.
So while they were doing this project, let's say, did they come up with some, let's say, new findings or some new ideas about the tomb and what was in it?
I don't know this, but many times they come up with new findings or new.
You never know. There's something new.
Yes, with something new.
Yes. Okay. Well, that is great. Where did you find the information for this particular news story?
From BBC and from the internet.
Do you usually, let's say, try to follow these kind of news stories, or are you interested in, just reading the news?
No, I read the news, but I especially read the news like this because I'm interested in archaeology. So I find this news very interesting.
Okay. Well, do you like reading this kind of news stories too, Poppy?
I like the Egyptian civilization. I have seen many times documentaries on TV, and there are many things hidden in the pyramids, and it's a very interesting civilization.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's all the mazes. I mean, it's very...
They had the biggest library of all time.
Yes, that's for sure. So, is there something you'd like to ask Maria about her news stories?
Why has this mummy drawn so much attention?
Yeah, this is a very good question because Tutankhamun wasn't the most powerful or the most important king in Egypt. However, his treasures and all these documentaries, magazines, and books affected their image a lot, although he wasn't a very important person.
Oh, he wasn't.
No,
But
he
still, he
wasn't.
became extremely famous, let's say.
He is famous due to his the gold.
Yes, that was found
Yes,
in his
about
tomb.
all these findings, his personal.
Yes. Okay, well, that was very interesting. Thank you very much, Maria, for sharing this with us. And now we'll turn back to you, Poppy, and talk about your book.
Yes.
Which is?
Memoir of a Geisha, which means Memories of a Geisha.
Yes.
It is a novel published in 1997 by Arthur Golden and tells the fictional story of a geisha who lived and worked in Japan before and after World War II.
So it wasn't based on a true story?
No.
Because this is what I thought.
One.
So would you like to tell us a couple of things about the plot?
The novel is narrated from the point of view of Sayuri Mika, a retired geisha in her 70s living in New York City. And she is interviewed by a professor at New York University. And the story is told in flashback format. She recalls her early childhood living as a young girl in a poor fishing small village in Japan. Along with her sister, she is sold by her elderly father and her dying mother in order to pay his debts, and she works as a maid. Her sister is sold to a brother, but she eventually succeeds in escaping, never to be seen by her again. And one day, while crying in the street, she's noticed by Kenny Yamura, a chairman, who buys her a nice snow cone and gives her his handkerchief with some money. She's inspired by this act of kindness, and she decides to become a geisha. And she falls in love with him.
That's the difficult part.
Yes. While working as a geisha, she spends time with the chairman. But she faces problems because she attracts other men seeking to become her patron.
So that was part of her job, though, wasn't it? Attracting, let's say, other men.
But she was in love with him, so that was her main goal.
Yeah.
I think. Her successful career is captured by the outbreak of World War II, and after the war she returns to June, her place, and then the chairman's business partner reveals to her that the time has come for him to become her patron. She is in despair, and she devises a plan to humiliate herself in front of him, thereby ending any affection that he might have for her.
Why did she change her mind? Because this is what she's always wanted.
Not to have sex with the chairman's business partner.
Yes.
She wanted the chairman himself.
Right.
So, but instead, she is humiliated in front of the eyes of the chairman.
Well, poor girl.
And she believes that her dream of being with him is totally lost. Finally, the chairman reveals to her that he knows who she really is and that he was responsible for sending her teacher in order to become a geisha. And she confesses her love for him that she had been harboring for more than 15 years. And the story ends with Sayuri recounting her subsequent life, living as the chairman's mistress.
And not his wife.
Not his wife.
Why not? I mean, is there an explanation in the book about that?
Because there were inheritance issues with his company and didn't want it to cause problems.
Yes.
And there's a mention of a son she had with the chairman and a relocation to New York City with her son for this purpose again, for the inheritance issues. And there are reflections of all the people in her life.
Well, a very, very interesting story. Yes. Well, does the book mention why geishas are so important for Japanese culture?
Well, it's a part of their culture. For many people, gays are common prostitutes.
Yes.
They believe that they are common prostitutes, but they are not. There are traditional female Japanese entertainers who go always to entertain men in their tea houses, and they withhold sex through graceful seduction. That's why men keep coming back to be entertained by them. They have a personal life. They have their own boyfriends whom they personally pick, but they are not prostitutes.
They're, let's
That's
say, are
the
you
official
yes,
term of a geisha.
of a geisha. Okay, so they have, let's say, they're honored by Japanese people in a way.
Yes, I don't know, maybe.
They're considered important, though.
Maybe.
Okay, so do you generally like reading this kind of books?
Yes, I like romantic stories. And in this particular one, it was a story very, I didn't find the word. It was an original one concerning the facts and the characters.
It wasn't too
and
romantic.
The story, yes, and the problems that the characters are facing. But I really had the chance to know a few things about their culture, the Japanese culture, and their civilization.
Okay, that's a good thing.
I
Getting
found
from a
out
book.
what a geisha is.
All right, yes, and now we know too. Okay, Maria, have you read this particular book too?
No, I haven't read this book.
So how about now that you've heard some things about it?
But I
What do you
find
think?
it very interesting. I don't know, what is the patron?
Patron used to be a wealthy man that supported the tea houses of geisha financially.
So they had to have a patron in a way.
Yes.
It was a must. Huh?
Yes.
Okay, well.
I
It's
don't
different
know
here.
though what the patron actually did. Maybe had sex with one of them, I don't know.
Or maybe some kind of a protector for them.
Yes.
Well, we don't know.
Support them.
Yes, to support them.
Yes.
Okay.
I know that.
It's a completely different, let's say, culture that we're not aware of, but it's okay.
Sure.
We have to understand a lot of things. Okay, well, that was very interesting. Thank you very much for this, Poppy. And now, girls, I'd like you to do something while I just listen. I want you to take a look at these photos. They are photos of natural disasters. Now, I would like you to tell me, how do people react in such situations and why? Discuss.
First of all, I would like to say that in most of cases, people usually lose their temper in natural disaster, and this is very wrong. And they lose their control and they get panic. For example, in the case of the earthquake, they jump from the windows and they kill themselves. So this is very bad for them.
Well, in my opinion, the destructive forces of nature are always a traumatic experience, not only for little children, but for the adults also. People's reactions are frustration, panic, as you have already said, and they must act with more controllability. In a case of a typhoon or in a volcano eruption, people have enough time to prepare themselves and gather food. So, I don't know. They don't have to panic that much in some cases.
And I believe that they must be aware about how to react. There are many informative campaigns which inform them about how to react.
I believe that school can play an important role in this matter also, because they can transform a frightening event into a learning experience.
So do you think that these things can be taught?
Yes, in a way.
Oh, we can. Have you ever had such an experience? I mean, an experience of a natural disaster, like an earthquake, for example. Greece has a lot of them.
Yes,
So,
I had the chance.
How did you react?
I knew from school that I had to stay out of the down of a table, and I did that thing. And when the earthquake stopped, I ran out of the
Out of
house.
the house. Maria, how about you?
Yeah, I had this experience before many years.
Yes.
An experience in an earthquake. And the first thing I remember was that I want to get out of my house.
Well, this is the first thought that
I
everybody
don't know
has.
if this is, I believe that this is wrong.
Well, yes, according to specialists, it's wrong.
Yes.
This is what you're not supposed to do.
This was a bad reaction.
Yes. But still, while you're looking at this disasters, which one do you find more frightening for you?
For me?
Well, for both of you.
Personally, I'm afraid of water. Personally,
Really?
I don't know how to swim, and flutes are something that I'm afraid about. I don't say that all the other things are
Less frightening.
less frightening, but I don't know how to swim, and I don't know how to react in a case like that.
Maybe you should, control this fear.
Maybe I should learn how to swim.
Well, that would be a very good idea, very useful. Maria?
For me, very dangerous is the fire because you don't have the time to react and to protect yourself because it's very quick.
Yes. Well, all of them
Yes,
are
but-
extremely, let's say,
Yes.
frightening. And then let's hope that they don't happen
Yes.
at all, or at least not very often. Well, girls, thank you very much for this discussion. It was very interesting.